First, watchfulness. What does it mean to be watchful? There's a new movie out, The Watcher or something like that. It just means wakeful one. The word literally means that sleeplessness. Some pastors talk about this, that they're so concerned about the health of their congregation. They're so concerned about a particular individual coming to Christ or for seeing a marriage come through and doing well. They're so concerned that it actually keeps them up at night. They're being watchful. It means that they're alert. They're vigilantly, constantly concerned and expressing care for the good of the souls of their people. They're being watchful. And they're being watchful for the sake of or on behalf of the soul. Another way to describe being watchful is what God told Ezekiel in chapter 3, verses 17 and 18. How many of you ladies are in your precept class? You're taking a precept class. Some of you ladies are. You know more about Ezekiel than I do, but I do know this about Ezekiel. I know that God called him to be a watchman. This is what he says to Ezekiel. Son of man, I've made you a watchman for the house of Israel. So hear the word I speak and give them warning from me. When I say to a wicked man, you shall surely die, and you do not warn him or speak out to dissuade him from his evil ways in order to save his life, that wicked man will die for his sin. And I will hold you accountable for his blood. Now that's heavy. Here's a pastor leading, caring for your congregation. He's watching the Lord. He's looking into the Scriptures. He's hearing from God because he knows that God is going to hold him accountable to speak forth whatever it is that God has told him. And in his speaking forth, that is a very important thing, because if he refuses to speak forth, if he refuses to warn what God requires, if he refuses to encourage someone to repent of their sin, and that person is destroyed because of their failure to repent, then God holds that person, the preacher, accountable for his blood. That's heavy. That's, you're a watchman. Another way to think about being a watchman is a shepherd. A shepherd watches over the sheep. I've never had sheep. I used to be a goat roper. Okay, so I didn't watch over the goat, but my dog would sit there and watch the goats. That's not really what he's talking about. He's talking about how a shepherd is constantly looking out for the good of the sheep. He's got his eyes open. He stays up at night looking for wolves. He's in amongst the sheep, rubbing shoulders with the sheep, knowing when a particular sheep is having a problem, addressing that need. And pastors do the same thing as a watchman, as a watcher. They are in and amongst the people. They're rubbing shoulders with folks. They're close enough to feel the pain when someone's hurting. They're close enough to actually cry when someone's grieving. They're watching. They're being a watchman in that way. They're like a shepherd. They're staying up at night looking for wolves, looking for people who might come in and hurt the church, do damage to the integrity of the gospel. So they're watching.